Hey guys, happy Monday. I wanted to hop on here today. Sorry, I'm a little off, I think. I wanted to hop on here today and talk to you about the story feature that is available on Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. I'm just going to go over how Facebook does it, and then, once you get one of them, I'm sorry, let me get this figured out. Once you get one of them, you'll be able to understand them all. So we have been talking a lot about, when using social media, not throwing up Thrive all over people. And I want to give you a really good example. This actually happened to me today. I had a friend request from a lady. I didn't recognize her, so I immediately clicked on her. We had a couple of mutual friends, but I noticed right away she's I'm not going to say it out loud. She is a salesperson for another network marketing company, and I immediately just felt like, oh, she doesn't know me. She sells this stuff. She knows I'm friends with a couple of people. I bet she's going to try to sell me something. That was my gut instinct, based on the fact that the second her profile popped up, everything I could see screamed, "This is what I sell." So I clicked out, and then I was like, oh, you know what? Let me be fair. I'm going to go back. I looked again, and I really scrolled through her page, and I think I saw 10 posts over the last few days. All of them except one were related to her company. And I thought, yeah, we don't really have anything in common. I'm not, except for a couple of people. I'm not really sure why she friended me, but I definitely have the gut feeling that she just wants to friend me and connect with me and try to sell me something. So I've never actually had that happen before. And I just when I saw it happening to myself, I was like, oh my gosh, ding, ding, ding. All the more reason that everything we've been talking about the last week or so is so important. I immediately made the judgment call based on her profile that I don't think she really wants to be my friend as much as she wants to be my sales rep. So think about that, you guys. If you're connecting with people and they're searching you, or they're stalking you on Facebook, which we all do, especially if I get a friend request from someone, I don't click that yes button until I stalk a little. I learned that the hard way. But think about that. So the thing I want to talk to you about today is the story function or feature, or whatever the heck it would actually be called in computer word. I don't know. But what it is your opportunity to give little snippets of your day instead of posting about your day all day long. So remember, Facebook is going more in the realm that they want you to be posting only once or twice a day. Instead of quantity, they want it based on quality. So they're more excited when your posts are getting interaction, when people are talking back with you, making comments, versus just likes, loves, that kind of stuff, the clicking of the button. So, like I said, it was like probably about a year ago, it was, the more likes you had, the better you were. But now they actually want people interacting with you. So instead of posting and posting and posting and posting and posting all day, they want you to only share one or two things a day, but they need to be quality. So when you're only getting the chance to share once or twice a day, you don't want it to be all about your business. You want it to be all about you and your life, because you want people to be attracted to you. And I'm not going to recover all that. We've already talked about all of that. If you're newer to the group and you're not sure what I'm talking about, go back to the first few videos that we did. So how do we put in little snippets of our day? How do we sneak in little things every now and then about our business or our life that's connected to our business without screaming Thrive? Well, that, my friend, is where the story feature comes into. The story feature on Facebook, specifically on Facebook, is only available on the app. You will not see it when you're on your PC. So if you're sitting at a desk all day and that's where you check Facebook, you may be like, what the heck is she talking about? But if you pull it up on your phone, you're going to know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to undo this and take this towards my screen. I did a screenshot. This is a screenshot of my Facebook page from my phone, and you're going to see, I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this backwards. At the top of mine, it has a camera, and then it has these little circles with people's faces and names that I know. Those are their stories that they're sharing for the day. How do you share a story, and what do you share? Well, all you have to do is on Facebook, is click the little button. It'll have, you'll be the first one. You're always going to be the first in the line because Facebook wants you to share your story. You're going to click this Your Story button. It's going to pop up automatically as a camera. So from that point, in that camera, you can take a selfie or you can take a regular picture. It has all kinds of filters and things you could put on it, funny faces. You could type words on it, all that fun stuff. Or if you already have a picture that you've taken that day, you can use one you already have. And there's a little, just play with it, you guys. Don't be afraid of it. Just play with it. There's a delete button, so if you accidentally post something you didn't mean to, you can always delete it. But the story feature is just a fun little place. There are some days when maybe I'm just checking my phone really quick and I see that somebody's popped up a story. The stories are all timed. So whereas if I'm scrolling through my news feed, each thing can stay on my news feed forever, or can I, if it could be big or short or whatever. On the stories, if I pop up a picture, if I post a picture of my story really quick, it only has so many seconds to play before it goes on to the next step in my story or to the next person's story. So you really can't bore somebody because it happens so quickly. And what I like to use the story function for is just little snippets of, hey, here's what I'm doing. Like for instance, the last few posts that I've made on Facebook have been regards to, I don't even know. Wonder what my last few posts have been. Today I shared a poll because I'm hosting a call tonight, and I created a poll based on the topic. I shared the call. I put some pictures up of my nephew's football game the other day because, as you know, I love him. I shared some stuff from another private group that I run. I shared a little bit. I did actually share a post about how much money the Lavelle Corporation raised for Harvey. I think that's non-salesy and just to the point that we worked really hard to raise a lot of money. You guys, we almost raised $500,000 in 5 days or something crazy. And then just like a place I was having lunch. So I haven't really talked about Thrive except for the fact that I did throw up the Harvey thing. But now what I can do in my story is I could be whipping up my shake for breakfast and take a quick pic of my shake, and I may or may not have the packet laying nearby. So that could be in my story. It's just going to be a real quick boom on someone's phone. I could put, if I'm at a local or something, I could do a snippet of the group and put that up there. So it's not that you're never going to talk about what you do, and you're not going to give hints and clues and things like that. It's just that we're not spending that limited time in someone's news feed talking about it, because in the news feed we want to attract people. And same thing in the stories. You don't want it to be thrive, 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 because it's going to bore people. They're going to be like, oh, I don't even want to look at her story because all she talks about is thrive. I know what's coming up. But maybe like every 7th or 10th snippet I put in my story, it's something thrive-ish. I see that Sandra's on. The other day when I got to work, I parked my car. I saw Sandra was there working out, and I was like, oh, how funny. We have matching logos on our car. So in my story, I zoomed in on my logo. Then I zoomed in on hers, and I wrote in the little picture, I wrote twinning. Because we were twinning. It was cute. But then I haven't put anything in any of my stories since that have anything to do with Thrive. So that was a little snippet. That was a little tease. Not only was it Thrive related, Lavelle related, but it also had my car in it, which is my auto bonus. So I used that little, I don't even know, it might only be like 10 seconds or 5 seconds. It seems really fast when you're watching the things flash by in the stories. But stories are a great way to inject humor, inject personality, inject, oh, hey, here's where I am, wonder where I am. For example, when I go to Mexico next month, I'm going to be doing little stories. Obviously, I'm going to be sharing some stuff on Facebook. I'm not going to be screaming, I'm here because of Thrive. I'm not going to be screaming, I'm here because you bought Thrive. Nobody likes to feel like they sent you on a trip. But I'm going to be, throwing in snippets of how happy, how excited I am, how proud I am, how great it is to be there. To where someone might say, well, where are you? Why are you there? What's going on? And then that's when I have the opportunity to talk to them. Because you got to remember, if you just lay it all out on your newsfeed, or even if you just lay it all out on your story, then nobody has any reason to ask you any questions. So don't be afraid of the story button. I've actually found it to be quite fun. I'm active on Instagram as well as Facebook. So what I do is almost always I create my story, picture, or little video in Instagram. I like the Instagram stories because you can actually tag it with a location. So like if I want to tag our personal business, I can tag that. If I want to tag a restaurant that I'm at, I can actually tag it and kind of advertise for those places as well. I like to make it an Instagram, and once you have it created, it's in your settings somewhere. Mine was just already set this way, but I'm sure I could find it if I needed to. Mine is set that once I share something as a story on Instagram, it automatically saves it to my gallery in my telephone. So once I create it and share it on my Instagram story, I can turn around and just share it into Facebook stories. Facebook Messenger also has a story button, so I can just share it in there. That's a really nice feature. Same with Snapchat. If you create it in Snapchat, you can just automatically save it and then share that everywhere. And it's really funny. You'll notice some people will watch your stories and some people won't. I have read different things where it says, oh, the people watching your stories, those are your real fans. Those are your biggest fans. And I get that. There are some people's stories who I seek out because I want to see what they're doing and what they're up to, because they're not really posting their day-to-day on Facebook anymore. They're only sharing the big important stuff on Facebook. But at the same time, too, sometimes I'm guilty of just letting the story button run and the next story pops up and I maybe didn't even, you know what I mean? Like, so there is some validity to that they could be your biggest fans. But the thing that I love about the story feature and all of those platforms, no matter what, you can click and you can see who actually watched your story. So you're going to get an idea of who is actually following you, who is actually being exposed to you, who is actually either happened upon you or was curious about you. Like you post something on Facebook and you have no idea. Unless someone likes it or unless someone comments on it, you don't really know. You might even do a video and it might say 400 people viewed it. Well, you don't know who those 400 people are. On the story feature in Facebook Messenger, Snapchat, and Instagram, you can go through your stories, and there's a lot of them just have like a little eyeball at the bottom. If you click on the eyeball, it shows you whose eyeballs have been watching your stories. So it's a really good way. I've noticed over the last month or so, a couple of ladies who have really started they've been paying attention to my stories on Instagram as well as on Facebook, which mine are identical. I don't take the time to make different stories for the platform, and I know some people would say that's horrible, but I just don't want to dedicate the time to that right now. So, but what I started noticing that they were watching my stories. Every now and then they would comment on my story, and so I realized that we were kind of connecting, and so then I went and I commented on maybe one of their Facebook pages, or posts, and it started some conversations. Not all of them have led to a Thrive customer. One of them did, but nonetheless, I now know who's following me, who's watching me, what kind of things are important, or getting a reaction from people. So yes, it is marketing at its finest. Yes, you got to remember whatever you put out there on Facebook is what the world is going to see. So I'm very selective. You can, like I said, you can be funny in your stories. You can be serious in your stories. Some people have been using the story button as a place to throw out promotions, but you guys have to remember that is still public. So you're still giving someone the opportunity to shop you. So you want to think about that. To me, the only place to share a promotion is in a text, private message, email, or face-to-face or on the phone. I try not to make those public anymore. I learned the hard way. But yeah, so play with the story feature. Hop on Instagram, hop on Facebook, Snapchat, whatever it is you're into. Play around with it. Don't be afraid of it. But a lot of you were like, my gosh, if I'm not posting about Thrive anymore at all, how are people going to know I still do Thrive? Well, let them see that you're drinking a shake in the morning. Does it have the Thrive logo on it? It may not. It's not a big deal if it doesn't. They're going to still see you're doing something. Maybe in your story, maybe the picture that you posted, maybe your DFT is visible. So again, you're not screaming it at them. You're just showing, hey, I'm out. Like for example, let's say I was at my nephew's football game and we took a selfie and you could see my DFT. It's still about my nephew's football game, but oh yeah, she's still thriving. That's still on there. But again, it's really quick. They're only going to get it for so many seconds to see, and then it's gone. Your stories will drop away or disappear or whatever after 24 hours. So you could try doing one story thing once a day. Sometimes on the weekends when we have a lot going on and we go to really great places or something, I'll have multiple stories. But you can just play around with it, get a feel for it. It is the replacement for multiple posts on Facebook. So if you're itching because you're like, oh my gosh, I've only posted once and I really want to post more, this is a good way to do it. But remember, just similar to with your Facebook post, it's going out there, it's public, so make sure you're representing yourself the way you want to be represented. Make sure you're not like turning into the Thrive girl. And again, just use my little reminder from the beginning of this video to go back and check your profile. If someone is looking into you and they feel like, oh, all this person does is this business, they may not take the time to get to know you, or they may just start swiping past you. Terrell wrote, I felt the same way when I've gotten a friend request from somebody I don't know. Yeah, so Terrell's had the same situation that I had this morning, where someone has requested her friendship, but when she looked through their profile, she just had that gut feeling right away that the only thing this person cares about is the business that they're representing, and didn't really want to be their friend. So remember, people are looking at your profile. Make sure it is set up the way you want to represent yourself, and then use stories instead to slide in some little snippets about your business and things like that. So hopefully this helped. The picture that I showed you of my home screen, I'll put that in the comments under the video if you guys have questions. It's something that I'm really full of us today. Something that I picked up along the way, this is just me, I'm very visual. So whenever I see, like when I first saw the Facebook story button, I didn't know what it was. So I went to YouTube and I typed in Facebook story button, I think was the whole thing I typed in. You can find all kinds of tutorials. So if you're not sure which buttons to click or how to do it or how to put the filters on there, just hop on over to YouTube, type in Instagram stories or Snapchat stories. There's a million different people who will tell you how to use that button and how to create those different things. So educate yourself. You got to change with the times. You got to keep up with the technology. And I look forward to seeing some Facebook stories, because there's a lot of people I'm friends with that aren't even using the Facebook story buttons. You guys are missing out. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye.